Howdy, folks. We're back with another YouTube tutorial. This one will be for my 7th grade class. We had made a previous program on Scratch that we did in class together, in which we practiced using our own blocks that we can define and then add in to do different things. So for this example project here, when I hit the green flag, it'll reset the pen and it gives you instructions. It says drag me where you want to draw, then hit space. But first I want to show off some of the other stuff down here before we get to the main project. In here, if we hit any of the number keys, it'll make a shape with that many sides. So we have a triangle, square, pentagon, and so on and so forth, up till nonagons, up till a 9-sided polygon. But the real goal of this assignment and the real goal that we took out of it was basically the instruction aspect of it. So when I hit the green flag, it says drag me where you want to draw, then hit space. And when I hit space, it'll ask how many sides do you want. Let's say 5. We hit enter. It says pick a number between 1 and 100, and I'll choose, I don't know, let's go with 80. And it draws a pentagon at a random angle right there. And we can do it again as many times as we want. We'll do 329. There we go. So we're going to work on one of these of our own today. First thing we got to do, just like always, we got to give a name to our project. I'm going to call this ShapeMaker 2 because I already have a ShapeMaker in my Scratch. And we're going to be doing this for anybody that might have missed it or needs to catch up on it or they missed a piece of it. This was a project that we worked on together, and although we did most of it together, it's still important to get it turned in. So if you're missing this, please use this to help you turn it in. All right, so first things first, we're going to need the pen tool in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on our extensions. If you missed that, that was the big blue square on the bottom left-hand side. It says add extension if you hover over it. And we're going to add the pen tool. All right, now I can move this back over. All right, let's go ahead and make sure we have the right sprite. So we're going to get the pencil sprite. And then you can have whatever backdrop you want, like something kind of blank, like blue sky or blue sky 2 would work. In fact, I'm going to go with that one. And then we're going to initialize. So we're just going to set up a script here. That says when the green flag's clicked, we'll make sure that our pencil always goes to the middle of the screen. So that'll be, oops, I put my event on the wrong side. Sorry, folks, it's the end of the day. I've been scratching all day, so I'm kind of tired of it. So here is our X and Y, and we want these to be 0, 0. This is going to put us right in the middle. This is going to put us right in the middle of our stage. So every time we hit the green flag, we always go right there. On this pencil, the middle is about there. So I'm going to make this smaller, say about 50. There we go. Okay. Now we need to go into this pen category that we have because we added an extension. Once again, if I'm going too fast, please just pause the video and capture some of the code that you need and then resume listening later. We could set our pen color. You could set yours here to whatever you want. I'm going to go with this like a really dark blue. Like that. Then we just need to say, drag me where you want to draw, then hit space. Alrighty. So that's going to be one whole sequence right here. Oh, we should also say something like set pen size. That way it'll always be the same amount of drawing. I'm just going to go with 3. So that's our first sequence. Okay, so if you need to get that, you can pause it right here and capture these 2 blocks. Remember, to get these aqua kind of colored ones, you're going to need to add the pen extension in the extensions down in the bottom left. Okay, now we need to make our own block. We're going to click on make a block. This is a procedure. We're going to make our own procedure. We're going to say create a shape with add an input with sides, add a label, number of sides, and add an input number, steps, add a label, steps per side. So these three are going to be labels. And then here, sides and steps, we could actually put numbers in there, or we could use these as variables. So we're going to take this fancy procedure that we have, we're going to hit OK. And it's automatically going to make this great big block right here that says define create a shape with sides, number of sides, and steps per side. So now we have to tell the program whenever we use this block, it will do what it says right here. So I'm going to scroll down and we're going to build out our definition. So first, it's going to say pen down because it's got to be able to draw, like when you're pushing your pen down to draw something. So we're going to use pen down, and then we're going to say control and repeat. So we want to repeat. Actually, let's put the rest of our stuff in here. So we're going to go move 10 steps inside of our repeat and turn degrees inside of our repeat. This is where things are going to get a little wacky. So we're going to grab the division operator. So this is the one that has the dash on it, like this. And if we divide 360 by the amount of sides we want to have, it will always come up with the right amount of turn in order for us to make the shape we need. It's kind of a weird math piece, but math and coding go hand in hand. So we're going to drop this in here, and we're going to make this 360. So here's an important moment to think about some of the differences here. So right now we have a procedure. This whole thing is a procedure. However, each of these is a parameter. And then if there's ever a parameter that has a number or a value in it, like this is an argument. So we're going to take these parameters for sides and steps, and we're going to drop them in as an argument right here. So we're going to repeat sides. And this will make sense in a second because we'll ask how many sides do you want, and then we'll be able to set sides to be the answer that we give. So this will have a number in a second. We're also going to move steps, and then we're going to turn 360 divided by sides, and we'll say pet up. All right, so this will be our full procedure. And we'll have to ask what sides and steps we want, and then it'll put those numbers in here almost automatically. So if you need this, go ahead and take a screenshot or pause your video and then fill it in. And I'm going to come over here and make the last sequence. Only a few sequences today. It's pretty simple. We're going to say when the space key is pressed. And then in sensing, we're going to say ask. And we're just going to ask, how many sides do you want? And then right underneath the ask block is the answer block. So we're going to set that down over there. And we're going to need a variable. So for now, I'm just going to say set my variable to, and then I'm going to do the whole thing again. So I'm going to get an ask block, but this time I'm going to say how many, I'm going to say pick a number between 1 and 100. And this will be the size of our shape. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 100. And then another set my variable to 0. Okay, so we need to make two variables now. We need sides and we need steps. Just like how we have sides and steps here, we need to actually be able to put a number in there. In order to do that, we need to make a variable for those numbers. So we're going to make a variable, and we're going to call it sides. And you can see that up here. We're going to make a variable, and we're going to call it steps. So I just made two variables, one for sides and one for steps. Now, we're going to say how many sides do you want and wait, and then we'll say set sides to answer. I'll do the same thing for the other variable. Pick a number between 1 and 100 and wait, and then we'll set my variable to instead say steps. So we will set our steps to the answer. All right, and then we need two more blocks. So we're going to go back to my blocks, and we're going to use this bad boy now. So we're going to use the block that we made. And we're going to create a shape with our variables. So I'm going back to our variables. We're going to create a shape with sides, number of sides, and steps per side. So now, when they answer, if they say 5, it'll say set sides to 5. And then down here, it'll say create a shape with 5 number of sides and whatever we set for steps over here, steps per side. Last thing we need to do is say, drag me where you want to draw. Then hit space. And then I'll just fix up my typing right here. And we should be good to go. Let's zoom out a little so we can see everything. Oh, I'm going to go into variables, and I'm going to hit the check marks by sides and steps so they don't show up over here anymore. I don't need it to be labeled, so I'm just going to get rid of it. All right, so our first sequence right here. This initializes, so our pen always goes to the middle. It erases everything we have, makes sure it's the right color, and makes sure that it's the right size. Then it gives us some basic instructions. Then we say when the space key is pressed, we ask how many sides we want, and then we set the amount of sides to our answer. And we ask to pick a number between 1 and 100, and we set the steps to our answer. Then we can make our own block. Then we made our own block that says create a shape with blank number of sides and steps blank, steps per side, and say drag me where you want to draw. Our last sequence is the definition of our own block. So we have our block down here, and every time we use this block, it will say pen down, repeat, sides, move, steps, the parameter for steps and sides, not just any number. Then turn 360 divided by side degrees, and then it will lift the pen up. So let's go ahead and test run this. Drag me where you want to draw and hit space. So I'll bring this over here and hit space. It says how many sides do you want? I want 3 sides. It says pick a number between 1 and 100. I'm going to say 100. And it makes a pretty big triangle. Also notice that this will probably work for numbers bigger than 100. How many sides do you want? I'm going to say 10. Pick a number between 1 and 100. I'm going to say 500. And I'm going to hit enter. See, it's so big that you can't even see it. I'll try that one more time. 10. Let's do 250. Nope, doesn't work. One more time just to see if we can make a 10-sided thing work. 10, and we'll say 100. Oops. 10, 100. Yeah, it gets a little weird when you need to have too many sides, but for the most part, if we just drew like a square, it would work. 4, 100. Like that. So if you had this missing, please let me know if you get it done. And then I will help you grade it, or I will get it graded for you. One more time, if you want to see everything, I'll scrunch it all up together. There you go. And that'll be a decent spot for you to pause and get all the code. Not too much code, but it works out. Hopefully I have another video for you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial here, or at least it helps you get something else turned in. And if you're watching this the day it comes out, I hope you guys have a great weekend.